Excuse me. So, I've been home all morning, just hanging out. Who's here? Who's this? Who's this? Is this a me? Oh, it's a me. She's my little buddy. She hangs out with me. She likes to be with me all the time. I'm so sweet. Okay. Hey. I'll get you lunch in a second. Thoth went out this morning and did a walkabout down the main road. I didn't go. And he's now out grocery shopping for us, which is just so sweet. Just so kind of him to do that, because I just don't want to. It's too hot these days for me. I'm really enjoying staying home, working on stuff. So, thanks for the responses from the video the other day. Very kind and sensitive, of course. You few people that watch things, it just blows my mind how you're so understanding and non-judgmental. And that was a lot. Sharing what I shared was really big for me to share that. And I realized that I'm the only person that really gives myself a hard time. I'm the one that beats myself up. I'm the one that gives myself a rough time with everything. You know, like this morning I woke up late. Woke up around 7. A little later than 7 actually, which is usually I get up around 6:15 or something. And who cares? It doesn't matter. It's I'm not a bad person. I'm not a failure at life by getting up late. I obviously needed some extra sleep. It's good that I slept a little more. And I was sleeping. I was very much asleep. I was really, really tired. And I've been having some really intense dreams lately. Just there she is. She's right on my feet. It's so sweet to have her. She's just wonderful. She's there with me all the time. It makes me realize that when I'm alone, I don't feel alone because she's with me. And when Thoth is gone, if Mimi outlives Thoth, they might die around the same time. I don't know, but I will get another Pomeranian, I think, because having her as a little companion, even if I start traveling again or whatever happens, having her is just having a little being that just follows you around everywhere is just wonderful, and it really gives me I'm not alone. I'm not. The other day, Thoth went to the consulate. He was gone for 2 or 3 hours, and I was just lovely, having a great time playing with Mimi and painting for hours on end. I'm working on this new painting that I'm really proud of, and I'm very excited about it. I'm letting myself work more slowly and not rush it. I'm in this process of creating this one image with an orb, this being that has an orb head and this draped fabric, which I've never really painted. I've never painted fabric before, so that's an interesting process. And Thoth said to me the other day, he said, "I'm so happy when you're painting, because I know it makes you happy." And he just wants me to be happy. I just want him to be happy. I don't want him to do anything that doesn't make him happy. And the great privilege and situation that I'm in now, and the life that I've created for myself, is that I can do what the hell I want to do, and I don't have to answer to anybody, and I don't only myself. And I realize that I'm the only person that's beating myself up. I'm the only person that's being tough on myself, saying that, oh, I shouldn't get up so late, I need to get up early. I don't have to do anything. There's no should or must in my life. There never has been, really. For the longest time. I mean, for a long time there was, I have to pray for him, I have to go out and play to make money. But when I was doing it, it's what I wanted to do. It was only near the end that I was going, I really don't want to do this anymore, because it's just getting way too hard. But I know that I said in the previous vlog that I just shared that, you know, the life that we're living is so incredible, but sometimes I can step back and get really disturbed and sad about it because I'm like, this isn't the life that I wanted. And I'll resist. I'll be in this state of feeling resistance about it, even though it's the most amazing life, and I'm so happy that we can live this life, and it's leisurely and it's comfortable and we're safe and all of these wonderful things, and we get to do all these beautiful things every day. We get to Tonight we're gonna go have dinner at a new place with Zubin and Chahastra, and it's just so wonderful to like be wanted. And the last couple of days, some girlfriends have come over to the house and hung out with us, and um, this I went and sang at a women's only open mic the other night and made a friend who knows Thoth. Her name is T Bird, and she saw Thoth at the Angel Tunnel back when she was in her 20s. You know, so it's pretty cool, and that's happening organically, and I'm not rushing or trying to make things happen because we're very settled here, and I don't have any desire to go anywhere, but I can get into these states of feeling resistance and going. I'm not feeling that these days, but when I get sad, when I get depressed, that's where I can go. Is that this isn't the life I wanted? I didn't want to be isolated in the middle of the jungle and feel like we have no friends and we have nothing to do. I want to fucking perform and I want to play music, and that's happening, but it's slower. It's not happening as often, and it's happening more in a leisurely way, and not in a we have to do this or we're gonna starve to death, like it used to be. And recognizing that Thoth and I are really becoming our own individual people, which is just so empowering. Like, for example, the other day he got really sad about feeling really unloved, and he was feeling hated by both of our families, and it just made him not want to share in the same way as he has been, and that can initially make me feel like, oh well, I then shouldn't share. I shouldn't share on our channel because then it becomes all about me talking and sharing. But what does he have anything to do with me, really? I can share what I want. If I want to share, if I want to talk, if I want to sleep in, if I want to paint, if I don't want to go on a walkabout, if I want to go sing somewhere, if I want to do this or that, I can do whatever I want. And I think it's hard for me to really recognize that I'm the only one standing in my way. I'm the only one telling myself that I should do this or I shouldn't do that, or I'm bad for doing this or not doing that. And I know everybody struggles with this, that we can be doing and have done all we can in life to try and do the best we can and be the best we can and be the best people we can, and we still feel like we're not doing enough. But for me, it's realizing that all is coming from me. All of that is coming from me. It's not coming from anybody else. Because when I really think about how I hear Thoth talk to me, he's never saying like, why did you sleep in? You're like so lazy for sleeping in. Why aren't you going on a walkabout with me? You should be going on a walkabout with me. I don't love you anymore if you're not going to do that. Why don't you go grocery shopping with me? You're being so lazy. You should go with me. You should go by yourself. It's more, he says, oh, you slept in a little. That's good. You got some extra sleep. That's great. I'm going on a walkabout now. I love you. I'll see you later. I'm going to go grocery shopping. I think I could do it by myself. I love you. He doesn't expect me to do anything. He doesn't expect anything of me. And it's the same for me. I don't expect anything of him. When he's having a rough time, when he's having a hard time, when he gets depressed, he hasn't gotten depressed in months because he hasn't had seizures. I just want him to lie down. I want him to rest more. I want him to take breaks more. I want him to not put himself in stressful positions. I want him to rest. I want him to enjoy life. And he feels the same way about me. And that is, I want to him to have as much as he can have and enjoy life as much as possible, including not doing things he doesn't want to do. And this thing about being settled and being in this restful position is that we can do whatever we want, and we're the only ones in charge of what it is we do or don't do, you know, and that's really special. It's a really empowering thing, but I even though anybody who's following the vlogs sees that every day we have really wonderful things happen and spontaneous things happen, magical things happen. I still can feel guilty, and I can feel like I'm not doing enough, and I can feel like I must be doing something wrong, or something's gonna go wrong, or whatever, you know. It's really strange, and I find that I'm the most happy when I just let myself be, when I just let myself, like when I look at my dog, when I look at the way she is, and she's just sitting at my feet. She's just lying there. She spends basically all day just hanging out around me, and I feed her, and I make sure she is cozy and safe, and I feel terrible leaving her alone if we go out to eat, and she doesn't, I don't need her to do anything in order for me to love her, and I love her so much, and she's just the best pet, and she's the best dog I've ever had, ever, and I don't need her to, I don't expect anything of her. She can be a total mess. She can be barking, she can be yipping away, she can shit all over everything and make a big mess. If she gets sick, and you know, I'll clean up after her, I'll do anything for her. I take her everywhere a lot of the time because I don't, she's just so sad when we leave her alone. It's just this unconditional love for this little being. And there's nothing she has to do. I mean, she's actually teaching me a lot about how to just live, how to just exist and be loved for just existing. Because she loves me. And it's this thing of having this unconditional love for me in which it doesn't matter what I do. Even if I get mad at her because she does something that she's not supposed to, she always loves me. So, and I'm so lucky to have that. And then to have Thoth, who just will do anything and everything for me. I don't even have to ask him. You know, he goes out and goes grocery shopping by himself, and he can do it by himself. And he's, you know, and I can just stay home and relax and do what I love to do. And like he says, you know, he's so happy when I'm painting because he knows how much that makes me happy. He's not going, what? He never says to me, why haven't you practiced? You haven't practiced violin in a few days. You need to practice. It's only me that beats myself up about that I haven't practiced, or that I haven't like sung for people in a little while or something. It's only me. There's nothing outside of me that is telling me that I'm anything other than wonderful, you know. And I don't really need anybody to tell me anything about what I am, because I know what I am. But to just be in this state of really spending a lot of time just existing and trying to do things that I want to do, instead of doing things that I know I feel like I have to do in order to survive, it's a very different life from 3 years ago, when we were in San Francisco playing 5 days a week. But when I actually think about it, I think about how just a few years ago, when the pandemic was kind of winding down, we were in the middle of it, I was thinking about, we were starting to think about traveling again and going off into the world and seeing the world again and seeing what was going to happen. And for the life of me, I couldn't think of what I wanted anymore, because I'd spent so many years denying myself things, saying, oh no, I'm not going to have this food, or I'm not going to, in order to self-preserve, you know, just saying, oh, I'll save a little bit of money if I don't eat this kind of thing, or I don't have this extra thing, or whatever. I'd say, no, we're not going to do this, we're not going to go there and do that, because it would cost money, and I'd be scared to spend money on things. And I've gotten so much in this state of that, you know, spending money is something that's causes me anxiety, and I'm very happy when I live a very affordable lifestyle, and I'm not doing things that cost a lot of money, because that's the life I've developed. And over this decade of time, I created a situation in myself in which I kind of forgot how to do the things that I love to do, that it would bring me joy, that didn't involve, me sitting and painting, or even that, even just doing things for myself that I wanted to do. And I know my life has always been driven by me doing what I want. I've never been forced to do anything. It's more that I've forced myself. Like, there were so many times in which I would be really, really sick, and we'd be playing in New York in Central Park, and I'd force myself to go out while I was sick, and I would force myself to sing. I wouldn't say to thought, I'm sick, I can't go out, I'm too sick. Um, I would force myself to do things, um, because because I have fear around, if I don't do it, then I'm going to become like my family. And like I said in the previous video I made, talking about how my fear of turning into my family, um, turning into my sister in particular, is a driving force as to why I do a lot of the things I do. Because I'm afraid that I'm going to become lazy or complacent, and me just existing is not me being lazy. I'm talking to myself here. It's me. I'm working through this as we're here, because this life is so much more settled, and the way that we traveled for so long, and especially in the last couple of years where we went to one new country every month, is that I kind of felt like I needed to do that, because it's not that I didn't want to do it. I wasn't forcing myself to do it. It's just, I felt, I was in a different position in my life in which I could do that, in which we could start traveling again, and get our own places to stay and all of that. And I felt like I needed to, because we hadn't traveled in so long, and that our life would become boring or something if we stopped traveling. Because traveling and all of that was so much my identity. Traveling all the time, performing all the time, all of these things that I no longer do, were so much wrapped up in my identity that when we first got here, I was fucked up, because I didn't know who I was without those things. And now I'm doing a lot better, because I'm realize, and I still struggle. Sometimes I go up and down, of course, everybody does. But I get into these spaces of like, well, I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing enough. I'm not painting my masterpiece. Or sometimes I have difficulties with painting, where I'll spend a few days where I can't work on it because I'm frustrated or I'm confused, or but I've put so much pressure on myself, where I've said, like, if I don't create like the most masterful painting today, or I don't write the most beautiful thing, or I don't draw the most, or I don't sing and have the most epic singing experience, singing into people's eyes every single day, then I'm a useless waste of space, and that's not possible. Those things are not possible, and I've been driving myself crazy for the last 15 years, saying that I have to create the best art, the most perfect singing performance, the most wonderful, the most beautiful makeup, the most wonderful, performance. And these days it's like I'm not doing walkabouts with Thoth. I'm not, I'm not performing all the time. I'm not, we do it when we get opportunities, which I take, and we do amazing things with those opportunities. But the vision in my head, the thing I beat myself up about all the time and say, well, we're not doing enough, is that it's impossible for me to do that. I can't, and I also beat myself up about, or I have beaten myself up about, that, I haven't figured out how to make us really successful with our work. I haven't figured out how to sell my work for a lot of money. I haven't figured out how to make Thoth like the famous, like giving him the attention and the respect that he deserves for what he does, giving him a space to do it in. just the other day we were talking about wanting to create our own dome space here, that building it, but it's complicated to be able to do that. But it's possible. It's something we could do. We've already seen some empty spaces that we know of, that maybe they're available, that we could build something on it. That is the thing that we're missing, is that having an actual space to do our work in. Is if we had a space, then we could just do it, and people would come, and it would, so maybe that's the path. But if it's meant to be, then it will be, and if it's not, then it won't. That's something that I've had to face. And usually when things are meant to be, they're pretty easy. They just happen. They're not like planning to come back to Bali. Basically a day after we had left and we were in Chiang Mai, we immediately got offered a place to live here. I got the visas and all the paperwork and all the shit we needed, and the flights and everything. I figured that out within a couple of days after we had left. And it was meant to be. We came back, we got settled, we got the dog, it was meant to be. We were meant to be here. Our relationship with Zubin and Shahastra that we've developed was absolutely meant to be. We've deepened with them in a very special way. And that wouldn't have happened if we didn't come back. And it's effortless with them. And with this girl T-Bird, who this woman named T-Bird, who sang at the women's open mic the other night, it was so empowering to go. I went there by myself and I sang by myself. I haven't done that since we moved here. And I got to meet her, and it was so effortless to meet her. And then yesterday we had lunch together and spent time together, and I don't have to force things. I don't have to like drive myself insane saying like I have to do this and I have to do that, and if I don't, then I'm a failure at life. And I'm doing everything I can, everything in my power. And I am a hard-working, dedicated person. I do what I need to do. And for me, it's that I need to learn how to stop doing things all the fucking time. That I need to learn how to lie down and rest like my little Mimi does, and know that I'm still loved, and know that I'm still me. That I'm not me based on how I dress, I'm not me based on how my hair is, or what earrings I'm wearing, or what clothes I wear. That's not me. Me is the me that I am is way deeper than that. It's the divine me. It's like Thoth says, it's the divine I am self. It's the self that is there beyond anything that is physically appearing before your vision, or you just are. And it's just this being that is observing everything. And I know this, but it's hard to put into practice, because a lot of the way that society has developed our perspective, human beings' perspective on themselves, is that they are what they do, and they are how much money they have, and they are where they live, and they are what they have. And I know as well as anybody that I am not those things. I am not my house, I'm not my dog, I'm not what my husband does, I'm not how I look, I'm not what I do, I'm not my voice, I'm not my violin playing, I'm not my art. They're representations of me, but they're not me. I am something deeper than that. And I think this whole process of being here really has been that for me, of recognizing that that's true, and trying my best to hold that in myself, and know that I am something so much more beautiful, and that I am as beautiful and powerful and awesome as I know I am. And it's not because of what I do, it's because of who I am, that I am this. This is not like, just because I don't paint one day doesn't make me suddenly I'm not what I am, or just because I decide not to dress up, or just to sit around with the dog all day. I'm still myself, and that self is very special, and it's always special. It's not just I'm only special if I sing, or I'm having this epic, performance with Both, or I'm getting to sing for people, or I'm practicing violin, or I'm painting a painting. When I'm just sitting on the patio looking at the trees, I still am me. And I'm as much me as I can ever be,